So on September 11th, 2012, our diplomatic compound in Benghazi, Libya, along with a CIA security annex, were attacked by terrorists. After a 13-hour battle, terrorists killed 4 Americans, including U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens, in what the State Department would later admit was one of the worst security failures in modern history. What many people don't know is that much of the security team was made up of private contractors, former military men and women, now civilians, continuing their service to the country they love. Those former military elites were the ones guarding the annex that night, the men that saved dozens of lives. One of those operators is, of course, my friend, retired Marine Mark Oz Geist. He was struck by a mortar and gravely injured in the attack. With his arm nearly blown off, he continued to fight and lay down fire. He, as I often call him, is quite frankly a badass. The experience and his long road to recovery helped him find a different way of giving back by founding the Shadow Warriors Project. The project is dedicated to supporting private military contractors and their families and is the only charity of its kind. Joining me now, I want to welcome the founder of the Shadow Warriors Project, one of the members of the team in Benghazi, all those heroes, and co-author of the book 13 Hours, Mark Oz Geist. Oz, it is great to see you, my friend.
Hey, Grant, it's great to see you again. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, buddy. So, a lot of people don't understand that you guys in Benghazi were contractors. There are teams like this all across the globe behind enemy lines. What happens to them if they get injured? I mean, they're not part of the United States military, correct?
No, they're not. So as a private security contractor, per federal law, we are required to have a workman's comp policy, and that is what covers us if we get injured or killed. Like myself, I got paid only when I was in the country that I was contracted to work in, which was Libya. On the evening of the 12th, that was the last day that I was there, I flew to Germany. And even though I was still injured and going through several operations over the next, I was in the hospital in Germany, then into Walter Reed until around October 6th, and then follow on therapy and medical issues for the next 2 years. And all of that was to be provided. First off, my pay stopped, so I'm not getting paid until I file that workman's comp claim. And then after that, I get paid workman's comp, which is about a quarter of what we got paid as contractors.
So it's amazing to me, Oz, because, you're there protecting, in many respects, American civilians who are working for the government, people working there, office workers and the like. You're protecting everybody, and yet when it all goes down and in the end, there's nothing left for you, not even medals. I think you deserve a Purple Heart for being injured in battle, but they can't give you one of those either.
No, they did, the agency, the CIA did make up a medal for contractors shortly after Benghazi for us, but it wasn't just for us that were in the gunfight, it was also for any of the other personnel that were contractors, whether it be food service or anything like that. And it was a Medal of Valor is what they called it, but it wasn't something that they'd ever had before. It was kind of what they did for us there, I guess, to give us some recognition for what we did.
Well, Lord knows, from our crew, STINCHFIELD's Army here and everybody watching, you got a world of recognition. We're all in awe of you guys over there. You are set out now to help other Shadow Warriors, these contractors who, as I said, behind enemy lines. What's the goal of the Shadow Warrior Project, and what are you trying to accomplish?
Well, our first, our goal is to make sure that what me and my wife went through, me and my family went through, that others don't have to necessarily go through that. We went from having, and as a contractor, I will say I made good money. I was making around $750 a day. So roughly about $21,000 a month. But the moment I left, my pay stopped. When I finally got my workman's comp claim, those first 3 months, I didn't get it until after the new year. It was into January when I got my first check, and it was for $5,000. So my family had to make that adjustment. And it is something that I understand that we go into knowing, but we also, none of us ever expect it to happen to us. And instead of trying to depend on the government or anybody like that, I figure it's easier for us to take care of our own. And that's why we started what we did.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would like to see the government change that and in a way pick up the slack if any of these contractors protecting American citizens overseas are injured. And so I'd like to push some of our elected leaders to push a law of that direction. And I want everybody out there, shadowwarriorsproject.org is the website. Donate money. These guys need the help. And Mark Geist, again, from a hero on the battlefield of Benghazi to a hero for these people coming back home. God bless you, man. And as I said, Merry Christmas to you. It is always good to see you, pal. Thank you for coming on, and thank you what you're doing.
Hey, thank you for having me on, and thanks for helping promote us. It's people like you who help us is what makes us be able to do what we do for others that are serving. God bless. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.